then the Taliban can come over here, get voted into power, and God knows we ain't far from it right now. And then what? Then we have beheadings in Madison Square Garden.
While Root is standing there naked.
No, I would be dead by that point.
With a ham sandwich. You would be naked with a ham sandwich from
Cussing
the
out some
5-star.
dude in a UK shirt.
You're listening to Slightly Uncomfortable. Are you ready?
Welcome to Slightly Uncomfortable.
Woo!
It has been a while since we've done something like
I
this.
think I just said that.
Well, but I wasn't recording.
So you stole my line.
Well, because it's more important when I say it.
Oh, I see.
This is our reoccurring segment called Three Bourbons In.
That hasn't occurred for a spell.
That's right. That's why we are now reoccurring it.
Ah, gotcha.
And honestly, we haven't had to because we've
been covering some meaty shit.
Well,
here
plus
of late.
we've been fortunate enough to have multiple chairs filled.
Yep.
You know, honestly, the Three Bourbons In came from the mindset of we can't get people sitting down.
Right.
Root and I have no social life to speak of, so we're always here.
Right.
Have bottle, we'll talk is what we say. And speaking of which, Root, tell everyone what we are drinking this evening, as I just cherish this.
There are things in this life that you seek after, but never find.
Don't I know it?
Not that.
Oh, I'm
Not
sorry.
that.
I was going back to my poondog ways.
Tonight, we are enjoying a product labeled Weller. Not just any Weller.
Not just any Weller.
Not just any Weller. No.
This ain't your daddy's Weller.
No, it is not. This is Weller 12. And if I'm not mistaken, James, this is the bottle you and I went in on together a bit ago.
And finally, we're even.
Well, you know.
God damn, it took you long enough. Anyway.
I'm a state employee.
Well, but you know, you didn't account for the VIG.
For the who?
The VIG.
The Vic.
When you VIG, VIG. Evidently, you've never watched any mob movies. It's when they loan money.
No,
that's the interest that they charge against the loan.
Yeah.
The VIG.
Well, you see, I don't pay interest.
Huh? We really don't pay loans. But anyway, continue telling people what we're.
Weller 12 is what we started with, and Weller 12 isn't something that the Slightly Uncomfortable crew typically has at the table, because we tend to do a lot of damage to bottles of bourbon when we have, particularly all four chairs filled. But James and I can do some serious damage on a bottle of bourbon regardless.
I know I've seen us do it.
Yes. The Weller 12, though, is something to be thoroughly enjoyed. We had a couple of pretty healthy pours before the show as we're discussing some pre-show stuff.
And I'm still working on mine.
And
you guzzled yours like you were.
Dude, well, when was the last time I had it? Last time I had it, we wasn't down past the neck.
Dude, I've only had one person sample that other than you, and it was a very small pour. I've been very deliberate with only drinking this with you.
I appreciate that.
And the fact that you left Weller 12 with me alone, that's a decision that everyone listening to this podcast knows you should know fucking better than.
Well, that's true. And I do commend you for your discipline, sir.
Well, you are welcome. Because with great opportunity comes great responsibility.
Is that what we're going with?
I don't know what we're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
So Weller 12 gets a spotlight tonight. It is an amazing, amazing bourbon. If you can find it, buy it. As many as you can.
You can't find it.
That's why I said if you can find it.
Yeah.
And our fallback is the tried and ever so true Heaven Hill 6.
And if I'm not mistaken, didn't one of the gentlemen, and I use that term ever so loosely, on our bourbon podcast, didn't one of the gentlemen say that was one of their least favorites?
I believe that was Murphy.
Yeah, that's why he's not been back.
Amen.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying. I'm saying.
I'm fucking saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you have that kind of just poppycock come out of your mouth. We can't have you.
No,
Plus, he doesn't own a beard.
Well, that's true.
Honestly,
I'm not sure he can grow one.
Of all the people that we've had on this show, there has only been 3 people that have not been bearded, and 2 of those were ladies, and the other one was Murphy.
That's a true
So
fact.
basically, Murphy, if you're listening, you are a lady.
Yeah, well,
and not a handsome lady.
no, and you know, bitch, slut. I think that kind of fits the bill.
I don't know why you had to go there.
I do.
That seems aggressive.
He does too.
But Three Bourbons In is going to be the show tonight, and we're kind of bringing back yet a theme that we've done before about Today I Learned.
Oh my god! Except this time with a twist.
There is a twist. Expect the unexpected is what I like to say.
That's what we do here.
That's
really.
actually what Big Brother says. So I can't claim that.
Big Brother.
It's something that's on that box that you don't use at home.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The toaster.
Well, no, it's actually where you set the microwave on.
That's where my bourbon is.
I've been to Root's house. Anywho, we're doing the Three Bourbons In. Oh, and by the way, I have an injury, so I'm playing hurt this evening.
Yeah, please tell them how you got this injury.
I'm going to give you all the Reader's Digest version of my.
Oh, I think they need the full version.
Injury. But about a week ago, I sneezed while I was bebopping around the house.
Yes,
because
it wasn't
because I'm a bebopper, and I pulled a little bit, felt a little bit of a pull inside of my chest or my ribs, and it really wasn't all that painful, but I just kind of noticed it, tweaked it, if you will. Then Friday night, I was getting ready to go out, and I sneezed in my kitchen, and took me down to a knee. I didn't think I was going to make it up. Long story short, I ended up pulling myself up about after 5 minutes. I'm play hurt. That's simply what I do,
That's
man.
what we do.
It would have killed a lesser man. We all know that. Everyone listening to this podcast knows.
A sneeze would have killed a lesser
Anybody
man.
that knows me and has heard me sneeze, this is not a surprise to anyone. It was just a matter of time before it hurt me or others. And ended up going to the doctor on Monday, and I had torn cartilage in between my last two ribs. I've torn the cartilage away.
Because he sneezed.
Sneeze.
A sneeze.
So I'm playing hurt. That's what I'm saying.
So you sneezed and you fucked up your ribs.
Well, yeah, that's the message.
That's pretty much the gist of it.
So yeah. So if I take a deep breath, I can't cough. If I cough, I fear sneeze. Sneeze is life-threatening to me at this point. A cough, slightly less so.
Yeah.
I have been hurt in this past week with a burp. I farted one day and thought I was going to black out because it was a good one. You know, it wasn't just one. It wasn't one of those. It was like a
move the curtains.
It was pretty much one of those cheek slappers.
Yeah.
If I had enough cheeks to slap. But I digress.
Not that I've seen him.
This is going to be Three Bourbons In with a twist.
Now he's running away.
Yeah.
What is the twist, James?
The twist is all of these Today I Learns that we found on Reddit.com is referenced in Kentucky.
Oh my goodness, Kentucky man!
These are all Kentucky-based Today I Learned. So hopefully, we will all learn a little bit of something interesting. I've already had one bourbon. I'm already.
He's already fucked up. He opened a bottle of Weller and he's already.
Oh Lord, I tell you what, I smelled some bourbon as I walked by and I started stuttering, and then I sneezed and I hurt myself. there possibly could have been an accident in my britches. But so the first we're going to do, and the way we do this is, for those of you that haven't listened to the past shows, which we would encourage you to do.
Yes,
their entire catalog is wonderful.
It is. It's amazing.
It is. Actually. I mean, it's the stuff that legends are made of.
It is. Joe Rogan, nothing on us.
I'm sorry, Colin Cowherd, suck my ass.
Yeah, exactly right.
No, I really don't want him to suck my ass. I think he probably would.
Well, he might.
Hashtag Colin Cowherd. God, if he finds out,
we're fucked.
No, that's the best fucking advertisement we will ever have.
Yeah. Or Shannon Sharp from Undisputed. If he might hear that we said at one point that he should, maybe just shut the fuck up about Antonio Brown and let the rest of the show progress.
He is a sharp dresser, though.
He does dress well.
I mean, he's named Shannon Sharp for a reason. Shannon Sharp Dresser is what I call him.
Probably because that's his daddy's name. That's just my guess.
Maybe his mama's.
Well,
I'm just saying. We don't know. We can't speak to his lineage.
No, that's true.
Nor will we. But
no.
The way we do this is I read one of these, and Rude has never seen it. He's not aware of it. And then we have
It's like I have to do show prep. Come on.
Well, I try to get you to do it.
I don't do show prep.
And he won't. He just simply won't. No matter what he is doing, he is too busy to do show prep.
I am a very busy man.
I mean, there could be a toenail clipping that he needs to do, or
I might have the sniffles.
But I had the sniffles. I couldn't do the show prep. So this is the first one. Today I learned on March 3rd, 1876, Root already has a small chubby. He is as moist as a snack cake when I go past the 1900s.
1870s, man, that's my wheelhouse.
So today I learned in 1876, in Bath County, Kentucky, what appeared to be flakes of red meat fell from the sky. People tasted it and said it seemed to be mutton or venison. Others said it may have been bear meat. The widely accepted theory is that it was carrion, vomited up by vultures. What do you think?
Fact.
It's fine. So what do you know about it? All right, let me just go and say this. There's a lot of reasons that I chose to do this podcast with Root. Number one, he's the only one that would say yes.
Yeah, well, there's that.
You know, and also he is just a plethora of just stupid ass information. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've checked him. You know, I've checked to see if the guy is just full of shit. And he's honestly not, and that just pisses me off. The fact that he can recall vulture data from 1876
I remember the story.
tells you why he doesn't leave his fucking house. Because nobody, you know, at the flea market here in Frankfurt, when he comes up, you want to know some vulture information? We don't.
No, they run away.
So please go ahead and tell us about vultures in 1876, Bath County, Kentucky.
In March.
It was in March.
Yes,
March
it was
3rd.
in March. Early March, I believe. March 3rd?
I said March 3rd. It doesn't get much earlier than that other than 2 other days. All right.
But it's early.
But see, that's why I get to do the show with Root, because he needs confirmation that March 3rd is early March.
Well, the reason I wanted to go after early March is that it wasn't spring. It wasn't springtime when birds migrate. However...
He pointed at me like I was supposed to say something. I don't know.
No. I'm pointing at you to get you to shut up because sometimes that's hard.
Well, I wasn't talking to you. You pointed at me, and then it made me a little
But I
bit.
knew you were about to, and what have we been doing for the past 2 hours? You're sitting here...
This seems like
here
time you could be explaining what you're fucking supposed to be
If
explaining.
you would shut up, I might. So... Somebody, quick, get 911. James falling out. He coughed, and he's crying. Oh, my God. You
Go
all
ahead,
right,
brother.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
You good?
As far as you know.
You play hurt. Come on. Shake it off.
All right. I need some more burp.
Rub some dirt on it. There you go.
All
Right. Buzzards always fly in groups because
They're birds.
that. But they also descend on the same kill, right? Or whatever carcass is down there. When they find their kill, they start circling over it. That's called the cauldron of buzzards. If one of them gets sick, they tend to all get sick. Voila! The mutton rain, as I've heard it referred to in certain newspapers of the era.
Did Elvis sing a song about that?
No, that was
mutton
Kentucky rain.
keeps
That was
falling
Kentucky,
down.
That was Kentucky rain. Another
Up ahead,
nice tie-in. Nice tie-in. But
walking through.
and you wonder why I have to point at him, get him to shut the fuck up.
Rain in my shoes.
Oh God.
Looking for you. I'm sorry, I love that song.
Yeah.
He made it mutton rain with that song. Go ahead.
So that's what I think happened. And talking with some bird people, I think they're called
Who the
ornithologists.
fuck knows bird people?
They're bird people. They're bird people. But I believe that is what caused this, was a big cauldron of buzzards flying over this particular farmhouse, because the entire incident was isolated to a couple acres. And this one woman was out hanging her wash when she's pelted by all of this stuff.
And she ate it. That's what gets me about this whole story. Is shit's falling out
What
of the
makes you
sky.
think she ate it?
Well, people tasted it and said it seemed to be mutton or venison. Now, I want to tell you what. I'm not saying anything bad about...
That's the first I've heard of that.
I'm not saying anything bad about Bath County, Kentucky, because Lord Jesus, they will load up a snake bus.
They will
and come
come
up
get
here
you.
and just do things to me you wouldn't do to a farm animal. And I'm going to go and say, shout out Leslie. I'm not saying anything bad about your damn Bath County, Kentucky. But I am saying that if some dipshits are out in the field and shit starts falling out of the sky and you go, I wonder what it tastes like.
Yeah, right.
All right, this is my state. I can make fun of it. That's stupid.
Yeah. But also, a Kentuckian from Bath County, you can't look at it and get some idea as to what it is? Come on.
Well, and plus, this is raw meat.
Well, partially digested meat.
But it had never been cooked, thusly raw.
Yeah, partially digested is different.
Even if somebody threw meat at me, and I'm like, well, this is raw. Number one, you don't just eat random meat.
So if I started throwing bologna at you, you're not going to say...
That's been cooked. Plus, it's apparent that it is bologna. Or a hot dog, or potted meat, or any of the mystery
Potted meat?
I'll tell you what, a little potted meat and some mayonnaise mixed together on a cracker.
No. Shh. No, man, you're carrying too much stuff.
A little Vienna sausage.
No, now, son, don't get me started on the Vienna sausage.
He says it like he's from the mountains. He's from fucking Henry Clay in Lexington.
Yep, I am. But I have eaten my current weight and probably prior weights in Vienna sausage.
Well, we can tell that your body was built on a Vienna sausage.
It was.
So now, do we think this is cool, or do we think it's fucked up?
What? The story itself, or the fact that some asshole ate this stuff?
That's part of the story. I mean, that's all in one. It's all encompassing.
Well, the story itself is a fact. So I think it's kind of cool that this woman happened to be outside at this moment. It's kind of disgusting, but it's kind of cool that she was out there at the time when all this happened. Because it happens all the time. It's just...
I'm not certain it does.
Buzzards eat rotted meat.
Well, I get that.
They're going to clear out that digestive
But the
system.
circle jerk of vomiting, I don't think happens all that often.
Yeah, it does, because that's how they fix this. But the fact
because he talked to bird people.
I did talk to
That's why
bird
he knows
people.
this shit.
I got curious. The fact that some asshole thought it was a good idea to say, this fell from the sky. I have no idea what it is. Let's have a bite. That's pretty fucked up.
Same way we discovered milk.
Is it?
I mean, you got to think that. I wonder how many animals they milked before they settled on a cow.
What?
I mean, I've never, again, we're fortunate that we don't have to, discover things anymore. Most everything that we need has already been discovered. But I just can't imagine walking through a field going, hey, look at that thing over there. Let's squeeze that thing. Look, white stuff comes out. Let's drink it. Thank God they didn't get to the bull first, is what I'm saying.
They probably did.
I'll tell you what, these juniors probably went to the bull over and over again.
I promise you, Charles Darwin didn't start his efforts in the Galapagos Islands. He found some fucker trying to milk a bull.
Over in Henry Clay.
No, here in Franklin County.
All right, so what did you conclude? You said both cool and fucked up. So we're going to need a bit more of a commitment out of you than that.
Oh, here we go.
It's a 50-50, and he's going for 33.3.
So I've seen about 5 newspaper articles on this event from the time. Never did I see anybody reference eating the damn meat. I saw them say it looked like mutton, but never that it tasted like mutton. So I'm going to go with it's a cool story, and the reference to eating this stuff is bullshit.
All right. Again, he went 33.3%.
What?
You did.
No, I didn't.
You're right on the fucking fence, like a libertarian should be.
Oh, my God. It's a cool story. Yeah, go ahead and cough, homie. Go ahead and cough. Have another cough. Go ahead.
But I'm not going to be on the fence.
No, of course
This
not.
is fucked up. Number one, the fact that...
Okay.
My turn. The fact that a vulture throwing up becomes an event in Bath County. That's what I'm still talking about. All right, Leslie, I understand where you're from. Okay? But the fact that today I learned there was a historical note made, and evidently 5 fucking news articles
at least
that Root had read, and they've only got one damn paper down there. And maybe it's probably not, it's a bi-weekly publication, I'm certain. Right. That this is an event. The fact that and then they go, you know what, we thought it was mutton. We ate it, whether they did or didn't. We ate it, and then we found out.
No, whether they did or didn't, what's that shit?
Again, my turn.
So now he's making up
the
shit.
fact
Go
that
ahead.
they found that this meat fell on them, air meat,
Air
sky
meat.
meat,
Sky meat.
sky meat fell on them.
That's what it is.
And they thought, all right, well, this looks like something we should try.
Sure.
And then they eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's just say that Root and I are out in a field fishing one day. Well, I'd be fishing.
I knew it was coming.
Root would be.
I'm struggling with the lawn chair.
He would be sweating and flailing, and there may be a fishing line wrapped around him somewhere. But we were just out
of my nose.
in a rural area, doing something, and this happens with us. And let's just say we're idiotic enough because we've been sampling some of Kentucky's finest, and we're a little buzzed. Then we're like, well, this fell on our arm. Looks like meat. Might as well eat it.
Sure.
All right. If we realize at that point that, all right, wait a minute, there's vultures flying over, and I think they just yarfed on my arm, and I ate it.
Yeah.
Would we go tell the reporter at the local paper and make this an event? No, because we knew we were idiots. We shouldn't have done what we did, which we have many stories about that.
Oh, boy.
That we've not alerted the State Journal, the Lexington Herald, the Courier Journal about.
It's true, mostly because of the statute of limitations.
This is fucked up because the fact that this was an event that is now being talked about 200 years later.
What?
1800, 1900?
No,
150. I'm sorry. I can't do
math
that.
is hard, apparently.
Math. But I'm just saying the fact that this is an event that's being talked about in 2019 is bullshit. It's fucked up. It makes Bath County look idiotic.
No.
It does. I'm sorry. It makes them look idiotic. They're not idiotic.
No.
Put the
they're
fucking
not.
bus away. we don't need Uncle John to get his snakes out.
Unload the snakes. Fuck. We got to work the rest of the week here, James.
People's teeth don't even touch down there. All right, so I'm going to go
Leslie,
fucked up,
listen.
and Root's going to go both of them.
It's cool. It's a cool story. It's a cool
That's
story.
what a libertarian does.
Oh,
Today I learned that it is banned by statute. God, I hate even reading this one because I don't know. I don't know about Root. I mean, Root's traveled outside the state quite a bit, and I've traveled outside the state and the country. He's not been outside of POTUS. Coitus.
No, CONUS.
Coitus.
CONUS.
He's not been there.
I've been to Coitus, but I haven't been to CONUS.
Oh well,
I haven't left CONUS. Just shut up. Go on.
And I keep looking for coitus. Again, James Reeves at Facebook.com.
All right.
I hate when we run into those stereotypes that we have to battle against because of how people perceive our state.
Yeah.
And how people perceive the people from here.
Right.
But this is one of those stereotypes, and we're going to have to read it. Today I learned that it is banned by statute to marry your first cousin in several U.S. states, such as Mississippi, Kentucky, West Virginia. However, this is funny, it is perfectly legal to marry your first cousin in California, New York, Florida, and the European countries outside the Balkans.
Outside the Balkans. You know, that's interesting.
Let's not get stuck up on that.
No,
let's just say we didn't say anything about the Balkans.
Because he doesn't even know where the Balkans are.
Well, I don't need to. If I want to go there, I'll pay people money, and the plane will land there, and I will assume they took
And
me
you'll
where I
end up
wanted
in
to go.
another war zone because they go on killing sprees about once every 150, 200 years.
Anywho, but I like actually the twist in this is that everybody perceives people from the South marrying first cousins. Mm-hmm. Yet it's illegal here, and it is absolutely legal in California, New York, and Florida. Now, Florida doesn't surprise anybody.
Yeah, Florida man.
Florida is fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that makes Kentucky, Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama. We look at Florida and go, y'all are red fucking necks. I mean, you all are white trash. I mean, that's...
But you know why we come up with this? Because all the Yankees moving down there. The locals down there, they understand their state. They stay away from the Gators. They don't
we're not
eat the meat that falls out of the sky and all that
The point
shit.
of this is not to defend Floridians.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
The fact of the matter is, Florida, you can marry your cousin. New York, you can marry your cousin. In California, you can't.
The interesting thing to me about this,
he was talking to somebody that was a first cousin.
Well,
because he knows people.
I'm a history guy. Here we go. Yeah, see, he didn't say that because he's fighting off a cough and he didn't want to fall out of his chair.
I really miss Lloyd, Caleb,
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. Murphy.
Murphy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Janet.
Janet. Yeah. Yeah.
Heather.
Yeah.
Anybody fucking else?
Here's why I think that this came about. In the states that are mountainous, such as Eastern Kentucky, such as upstate New York, which is why I'm curious as to why it's still legal up there. Oh, that's right, it's New York. What was I thinking? Back in the day, it was very common for families to migrate into these areas, settle in a particular hollow, and...
Hollow?
Hollow. I'm cleaning it up.
Well, you know, he likes to talk like he's from the mountains, and he says, hello. That sounds like something fucking Alex would say.
Oh, Jesus. And they never leave. So at some point, there ain't no other family around.
That hurts. Just fucking talk. The bourbon went down the wrong way.
So, you know, I would wager that everybody who does their genealogy in a mountainous area is going to find first cousins marrying. Because there were no other family around.
You keep saying there were no other family. There were no other people around.
Well,
The fact that you're saying that, well, we didn't have a second cousin to choose from. Grandma was already married to Grandpa. You said that like 3 times the wrong way every time.
Well,
your
that's
point
true.
is
That's
you're
true.
in a holler, and the only people you have in your purview, in your world,
is your
are
immediate
relatives.
family.
Or relatives.
That is that immediate family.
Right.
You go down to the far end of the holler, and see, I said it right there.
There's no other family around.
No.
You know, Uncle Bob
The far
is
end
a
of the holler
handsome
could
man.
be 30 or 40 miles off on a cow path. It takes a minute to get there. And these people, they didn't move that much.
And they were horny. And, you know,
Hey, everybody's got a fuck.
and Aunt
Everybody's
Jenny
got a
looked
fuck.
fantastic.
So did first cousin Jenny.
Jenny, evidently Jenny's a whore. Aunt Jenny, first cousin Jenny.
Yeah, sister Jenny. You know,
Yeah.
the bottom line is if
Jenny.
if they ain't good enough for family, they ain't good enough for nobody else. So are you done fighting off your cough?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, well.
You know, I'm going to comment on this after our discussion.
Oh, okay. So
Is
I'll be back in about a half hour.
if we look back historically, and
James going historical.
Rude all of a sudden just perked right up. He got ready to get his spit cup out, thinking that was going to be a rant on my part. Then he heard the word history,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Oh,
here
this
comes Mr. Boner.
This is comedy hour right here.
Now, historically, when you talk about royalty in Europe,
We're not talking about Europe.
no, shut your whore mouth.
You already told me I can't talk about the Balkans. I was going to start there.
I will throw something at you. And from this distance, I have a relatively good arm.
I'm going to move the Weller
Yeah,
bottle.
you should. But I mean, there was always incest because they wanted to keep the bloodlines pure.
Incest is immediate family.
Well, but I'm saying that first cousins is not immediate family, but in today's society, it's still considered.
It's still considered as such.
Yeah. But there was always marriage within the bloodline to keep that bloodline pure. Now, because of that, you had a lot of mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging, you know, missing,
Franklin County types.
missing a couple of chromosome-type kids. But this dates back much further than the United States.
Sure.
Now, what we're talking about in Kentucky, West Virginia, Mississippi, the southern states, the mountainous states, any part of Appalachia.
Mississippi is not a mountainous state.
I did
I'm
not
just
say-
saying.
I was trying not to cough when you were talking, so I was being very polite. But I'm not saying there's justification for marrying your first cousin. I'm not saying that at all. But we do understand why it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But now we also have people like Jerry Lee Lewis that married his first cousin, who was a minor.
Late in life.
Yeah. I mean, he was like in his 40s and she was 15 or something like that. So it's not unheard of. And I think anybody that's listening to this podcast, male or female, if you're going to be honest with yourself, there was that one cousin you'd probably do if you had a chance.
If it wasn't a cousin.
I had about 6.
Well,
I had
yeah.
a really pretty family on one side. The other side, not so much.
Yeah, he actually had 4 cousins, but you know, whatever.
Well, he was a handsome boy. Sorry, Mike, you're my only guy cousin. Not Mike at the Plaza Barbershop. Not
No,
that Mike.
no. He's
I would
a
not,
family man.
He is a handsome man, but I would not do him. No, I'm not going to go any further. But I think
and we just lost our only sponsor.
the irony here is that you have some very posh, mainstream, cutting edge type of states, not Florida.
Or
But when you're
Mississippi.
talking about California, New York City, L.A., these are just the metropolitan parts of the United
Right.
States, and it's legal to do that. Now, many will argue that it's legal because it doesn't happen. They don't have to legislate against something that is
Right.
not an issue.
Right.
It's
right.
also it's also legal in Kentucky to have donkeys fly your ass, because guess what? It never happens.
Well, and there's no freaking law against it.
Right.
You know.
Because there doesn't have to be. That's the argument here.
Right. Right.
I think the irony is obvious, that of the places that it's perceived it happens, there's a law against it.
Right. So it's a logical problem with the post itself.
Right.
Because some idiotic legislature today or then does not take action against something does not necessarily mean it's right or legal.
Right. I think this speaks. I mean, at first blush, it looks like, oh well, that's cool that they legislated against this.
The enlightened states.
Right. But it's because there's a fucking problem in Mississippi, Kentucky, West Virginia. Because we will marry a fucking cousin. I know. I've seen us do it.
That back in the day there was a significant problem.
It did not mention Tennessee, which is where Jerry Lee Lewis lived when he married his first cousin.
And probably a third of the state is as mountainous as eastern Kentucky.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Or North Carolina.
I don't know what those laws are in Tennessee, but I'm assuming there are some fucking cousins marrying cousins down there. They have an uncle, brother, a brother uncle, or something like that.
Also in 1862, the Confederate government did a fantastic job of killing everybody they could in eastern Tennessee. So
Well, that has nothing to do with this. But anyway, cool or fucked up?
it's pretty fucked up, the article itself.
Yeah, I think the way it was worded, it was misleading.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think once you kind of drill down on it, it's really minutia.
Yeah, it's a statistical mess.
It's just one of those things like, well, hey, did you ever hear that? But then when you actually think about it, it really doesn't have any merit.
Yeah. So
Because it still speaks poorly about those states that have outlawed it.
right.
And it also doesn't really speak poorly about the states that haven't.
Right. And you cannot tell me in the 1850s, 1860s, in the Sierras of California that there wasn't first cousins marrying each other. Or in the Adirondacks today.
I don't know
first
what that
cousins
is. I don't know what that
marrying
is.
each
I know they make a fine chair. I mean, they're a little short in stature, but their
Oh, my
chairs are
God.
extremely comfortable, and they're really good on the beach.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to go and say this is fucked up for the same reasons.
I'm with you. Although,
I will say, though, I think we got some notoriety here of late when the state of Kentucky outlawed bestiality.
and of late,
We just did that. It was this year that we outlawed bestiality.
you see, I don't pay any attention to this bullshit because of that bullshit.
No,
right
the
there.
reason he doesn't pay attention to this bullshit is it didn't happen 250 years ago.
Well, there's that.
If it happened 250 years ago in fucking Bath County, when some vultures were vomiting on farmers, he'd have been all about reading 5 fucking articles about it. But if it happens today in Kentucky, I'm sorry, it's irrelevant.
It is irrelevant.
But
because Kentucky's legislature and government. and
But
all
we
that
actually
shit's a
got
waste
all
of
sorts
time.
of grief all over the country because we had done that.
Well-
it's like, why hasn't it been done before this?
And
Why now?
I'm 10,000% with you about these stereotypes about the South. I don't care if it's Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, all of our southern friendly states, and because there's some that ain't friendly. But you folks out there in California, New York, Oregon, Washington, Jersey,
We have states.
Massachusetts,
Yeah,
all those people out there, look at us as folks. Come on down here, try our bourbon, take a tour of some of our fine distilleries, find out what kind of people we are before you start casting judgment on us.
well, but I think we're as guilty of stereotyping people as everyone else is.
I try my damnedest not to.
Well, but everybody that knows you and I knows that we're enlightened.
Let me tell you a story.
All right, anyway.
Let me tell you a story.
But I mean,
it's story time.
If I said,
It's root story time.
I'm still not finished with my sentence.
Because you're just trying to interrupt me.
You're just praying I cough.
I just want to watch you fall over there and die.
But I mean, when you think of San Francisco, you think of a certain type of people. When you think of New York City, you think of a certain type of people. When you think of Texas, you think of a certain type of people.
Well, now Texas, yes.
When you think of Vermont, you think of a certain type of people. Chicago, Detroit. I mean, there are stereotypes that are associated with all different parts of the United States. Fair? There are. If you think of Montana, you think of a certain type of people.
I don't participate in them so much.
But you understand, because it doesn't affect us, because we don't do it, doesn't mean it's not existing.
Right.
And I think we could both understand that when you hear about a event in St. Louis, Missouri, you already have a stereotype of what that event's going to probably reference.
Not me. I don't. When the Ferguson mess happened, what was that, 2 years ago now?
No, it's longer than that, I think.
3, 4, whatever it was ago. I had no concept. I knew it's a suburb of St. Louis, but I had no idea what the people were, who the people were, what the people were involved in that mess. I had no idea.
But again, it didn't happen 200 years ago, so you didn't pay attention.
Well, that's probably true. That's probably true. But can I tell my story now? Because it's fitting.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Back in 1773.
Well, no, it was probably more like back in 2009.
That's tomorrow. That's yesterday for Root.
See, I was voluntold to go to Manhattan for a.
God, I would have loved to see that.
for
his militant
thing.
His libertarian redneck ass.
Oh my God!
In Manhattan.
So I went up there, begrudgingly, because the only interest I had in going up there after being voluntold was to go down to Battery Park and Castle Clinton and see the history of New Amsterdam, right? Go up there and see the place. Well, so I get up there, get checked in, all this stuff, and I know that there's probably some kind of restaurant on 23rd Street where I'm at. I was in the heart of Chelsea. So
he keeps saying these places. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just going to sit here and pretend like I'm coughing.
Right. So I walk up the street and I find a little corner deli kind of thing.
A cafe down the corner?
A cafe on the corner.
I mean, Sawyer Brown's probably already sung about this, but go ahead.
Probably. So did Billy Joel.
Yeah.
So I walk in there and I order dinner, effectively. And the lady who owned the joint literally took me under her wing. She said, "Young man, you don't know what you just ordered." And I said, "Pretty easy. It's a ham sandwich." I'm pretty sure I know.
So let me get this straight before we go any further. You're in fucking Manhattan, New York. Mm-hmm. And you're in the hub of trendiness and just awesomeness of something unlike you've ever seen before.
Didn't really want to see it,
but
yes.
Still, I mean, but you've given it an opportunity, reluctantly or not. Mm-hmm. You're right in the middle of something that you have only seen on TV.
Right.
And you go to a cafe down the corner, mm-hmm. and your lame ass orders a ham sandwich.
I just wanted food.
Number one, who orders that for dinner?
I just wanted food.
Lord, you know what? He's used to eating at the 5-star.
See?
They have those at the 5-star.
They got a fine ham sandwich at the 5-star.
Do y'all have the right kind of ham, the country ham?
No, I wasn't about to go there.
Does it go on a biscuit? Is it wrapped in tinfoil and has been there 3.5 hours?
Right.
Under a heat lamp. That's what Root's wanting.
See, but they didn't have that, so I had to settle. But this lady talked to me. She engaged me. We had a very wonderful conversation. I ended up the ham sandwich, exactly what I wanted. But she's a local, and she engaged me, and we had a polite conversation. Over the week that I was there, I didn't go anywhere else to eat because
you were safe there.
I knew she was friendly,
and they had ham.
And they had ham, and
tomorrow I'm gonna get really adventurous. I'm gonna try cheese.
At some point in the week, I decided to take a walk. Right, I'm in Manhattan. I'd already been down to see the things that I wanted to see, so I went north. I went up to Times Square. I wanted to see the architecture.
I would have done the same thing. I think Times Square. I've never been to New York City, but I would have done the same thing.
I wanted to see, the architecture down there. Some of those classic buildings, the Empire State Building,
I just want to see all the lights.
Chrysler Building.
I mean,
all that.
just when you look in there on that, was it 5-corner spot where you see?
Oh yeah,
You know, I mean,
it's just wall to wall television screens.
Yeah, I mean, I
effectively.
think that would be really cool.
Yeah, and it was. It
Yeah.
was really, really
Unlike
awesome
any
to
other
see
place in the
that.
world.
I don't know. I've never been to Tokyo.
Possibly,
understand
I was
Tokyo
thinking the
has
same thing. I was
thing.
thinking about Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just out for a walk. Didn't have anything on that would show me.
He was naked.
I was naked,
I was just out for a walk. I didn't have anything on,
and I was surprised when the police came up. But you know they were friendly.
and they were in Manhattan, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. Lord
So-
Jesus.
You see,
Kenny Loggins, help him.
See, this is what I got to deal with, folks. I guess I say something and then James is just all over it.
Well,
all over it.
You said you were nude in
No,
Times Square,
I did not say that.
is what I heard.
Yeah, well, you didn't let me finish. What I was about to say was I didn't have anything on to show that I was a tourist. I was wearing.
Do they have a uniform?
You wait for that. Wait for that. We'll get back to that. I just had a blank T-shirt on. You know, just a dark colored T-shirt. My classic.
So let me guess, you were wearing black. That's unusual for you.
Right. See. I was.
Cause it's slimming.
I was, God knows I need it. I was completely nondescript. So I'm at one of the corners up there, Times Square, somewhere around 6th Avenue, and this family comes up to me in Wildcat blue. Every one of them had a Kentucky Wildcat shirt on. And one of them had a Kentucky Wildcat jacket on. Now, need I remind you, this was June in New York.
Doesn't matter. Big Blue Nation travels.
A jacket in New York in June? Fucker's insane. It was scalding hot.
Yeah, you're a sweater, though.
Oh, my God.
We've already referenced that several times on the show.
Yeah, that's true. So, anyway,
He may be sweating now.
I
It's
probably
50
am
degrees
in
down
some
here.
places. Want me to show you?
I do not.
I'll show you.
I do not.
I'll stand up right now and show
Please
you.
stop.
Okay. So the father of this outfit asks me for directions. And I was like, man, you know, I'm from where you are. I'm just up here taking a walk. Dude lights into me. Well, by God, you're not from Kentucky. You're not wearing anything that shows, and you should be more hospitable and all like this. The only negative experience I had in Manhattan, supposedly that stereotype renowned for rudeness. The only negative experience I had was from some asshole from Kentucky.
Well, we know we're full of them here.
We are full of them. But that dude almost got me put in jail. Because I was about to give him some free dental surgery right there in the middle of Times Square. Because he wouldn't leave me alone. I turn around and walk off, and he's following me.
You know,
Fuck
if we're,
him.
you know, if we're talking about stereotypes, when I moved out to Arizona, I really got to see firsthand about how people perceived not just Kentucky, but the South. Because one of the things they said out there was, I mean, I noticed every time I would speak, and I have a much more of a Southern drawl than you do. But
That's because I went to an enlightened school like Henry Clay there in Lexington. You know, they teach us literature and a broader thought process there at Henry Clay. Yeah, best high school in the state.
if you could just stop your whore mouth. I'm just saying, do they teach your whore mouth how to say things? Evidently they do. But I went out there, and
Thank
after,
you, Sue Ann Allen.
and after a while, I was like, why are you all so just enamored anytime I say something? They simply said that Southerners don't move. You know, that Arizona is a melting pot.
Sure.
There's very few people out there that are from Arizona. They get a whole lot of influence from Michigan, especially when the economy in Michigan just crashed. Detroit crashed, Flint crashed, all sorts of stuff. They had a
You should have seen him when. We got to get some cameras in here so we can see this happen.
I hope the hell this is.
His hat just about flew off his head.
But, you know, when they said that, they said, we hear all sorts of different accents. A lot of people from the greater Northwest moved to Arizona because they get tired of the rain, get tired of the humidity, all that sort of stuff. But they said, we don't get Southern accents here because Southerners don't move. And I had never thought about that.
Well, it's true.
And I thought, you know, just kind of, you know, harken back to the people that I've known. And most everyone I know are born and they're raised and they die in the same zip code.
Yeah.
Or within a close proximity of that zip code.
Sure. Same time zone.
Yeah. And when they said that, I'm like, you know what, you're right. I mean, you're right, we don't. And then I had somebody out there tell me, said, you know, there's two types of Kentuckians. Ones that live there and ones that are trying to get back to there. And come to find out 5 years later, here I come.
There you go. Yep.
But so I found out about the stereotypes that Kentucky had. And I asked people straight up, I'm like, so what do you think about us? And they said, well, we think about that you're honest. And I thought that's a really cool stereotype.
That
right?
is. I'll take that.
You know, they said that you're genuine and you're honest. And I'm like, all right. And they said, and we also think that you're a little batshit crazy and that you'll cut somebody.
I will certainly fuck you up. You come after my family or my dog, I'm after you.
Yeah, so I thought that was accurate.
Yeah.
But I had this one guy, and I'll tell two stories from this, then we'll go on. I was in a cubicle when I was
got a
out.
story too. Not that I'll get to tell it.
Well, but I mean, you already told your fucking Manhattan story. It took 23 hours. He was naked in Manhattan is what it should have started with. You got to start big. You got to start big.
Oh, is that what it is?
You started too low.
Oh, okay.
You know, you started with, I went to a deli and ordered a ham sandwich.
I lost everybody.
You did.
Right there.
You
Is
did.
that what it is?
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
You could have went to the 5-star and got the same damn thing. And somebody would have took you under something. Maybe not their wing. They took you under something.
It would have to be a first cousin.
Under the counter or something. Which you don't want to go with the 5-star.
I don't know.
There's a grease trap down there you don't want to see.
I haven't seen it, so maybe you know more about it than I do.
So I move out there, and I forgot one story I was going to tell, so now we're just down to one. I started with 2, and now we're down to 1.
Yeah, the rib just took it right out of me.
Oh, God, it hurts so bad. So I move out there, and I have 2 now.
It come back.
And I had this cubicle, and honestly, everybody out there were just as sweet and kind as honestly, they really were, because they were used to welcoming people from other type of areas. So the first prank they pulled on me, which was really the only one, I came in one day, and there was this huge ass IBM archaic typewriter.
It's electric.
Sitting in my cubicle, right there in dead center. And I walk in, and of course, everybody's kind of being sheepish.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody got to work early that day, because I always came in a little early, and they were all up there before me. I'm like, all right, something's going on. I'm like, anybody know why I got this damn typewriter on my desk? Somebody stood up and goes, well, your laptop from Kentucky arrived. That's fucking funny.
That's good shit.
That's fucking
good
funny.
shit.
And tip of the cap to them.
Yeah, amen.
I laughed.
Amen.
I shook their hand. I'm like, love it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then there was another side of it. And there's this one guy in my team. He was a little squirrely, a little bit older than me, but just kind of odd. And every time somebody would say something ribbonly to me, he would take it a step too far. He would take it a step to the point to where it was disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And I had had enough. And we were in a pretty large setting. I think there was a new employee. We were having like donuts or something to welcome the new employee. And I cannot remember what was said. But he said something loudly to embarrass me for the last time. And we're walking away after everybody has dispersed and welcomed the new person. And I walked up behind him and I grabbed him by the nape of the neck. And he was about 5'10". I'm 6'2". And I said, do you know what people from where I'm from does to people like you? You don't fucking want to. Shut your mouth. Some bitch never said another word, and he said, because the good thing of it is, when we drop some good Southernese on somebody that ain't from here,
They listen.
they know.
Yep.
With one snap of my finger, the bus will be loaded up with snakes, and them fuckers will drive anywhere.
There's a sinkhole with their name on it.
We may not be united here, but by God, you take us out of this state, and we are one.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
You never want to piss off the Kentuckian
Nope.
people. Ever. Ever. We got friends.
Except in
somewhere.
Manhattan, evidently, because you sons of bitches up there can't get along with each other.
Fucker comes to me and starts raining down on me like I'm supposed to know where the fuck I am.
You know what it was?
What's that?
He was from Lexington.
Is that what it was?
You know where you're from? Because you all don't get along well with other people.
No.
You don't?
I didn't have a stitch of family.
I bet he went to Dunbar.
Not when I went, because Dunbar was a pipe dream. Dunbar was a tobacco field.
All
when I
right, we
was in
seem
high
to be
school.
digressing.
Yeah, a bit.
So, in this regard, we both said it was bullshit.
Yeah.
Thank you all for indulging our rant.
Yeah.
Next today I learned. Today I learned it has been illegal in Kentucky to handle poisonous snakes in a religious service since 1940. However, serious attempts to enforce the law ended decades ago because of the reluctance of authorities to prosecute people for their religious beliefs.
Because all of that fell to the local sheriff, and he was probably a member of said church or knew somebody in said church.
All right,
that was that.
Let's take this higher level. Have you been to one?
I have not. I've had family that participated in those churches, but I never attended with them.
So, back when I was in seminary, when I was a preacher, one of the things we love to do, and I would recommend anybody that is faith-based now to do this, because honestly, you don't know if what you believe is right unless you know what other people believe.
Right. Or
And
until it's been tested.
one of the things that we did is one Sunday out of every month that we weren't working, a group of us would go to just churches. We would put our finger on the map somewhere in Kentucky, and we'd go. One of my buddies was from down around Hazard. Now, if you don't know anything about Hazard, Kentucky,
Perry County.
it is. I played basketball in a tournament down in Hazard, Kentucky, when I was about 19 years old. I used to be a pretty good baller.
So
And
I suppose I have time to go to the 5-star because it's going to take a minute.
I'm going to go ahead and just tell you to not talk. But at halftime or thereabouts, I mean, because ballers know ballers, and there's a mutual respect when you know somebody can know what they're doing. One of the guys from Hazard go, "Boy, you ain't too bad. Where are you from?" I said, "Frankfurt." He said, "Where's that?" Talks about the perspective in Hazard at that time. I mean, I'm sure it's better now.
I'm not
this
so
is
sure.
this is pre-internet, so I'm sure
Yeah.
they have a bit. But we went down there, and it was not in Hazard, outside Hazard. And just so you know, in that area of the state, Hazard's the city.
Right.
And then you have the areas around it is the places you don't want to go.
That's the county.
Unless you have a tour guide, you don't want to take your ass down a holler anywhere in that region.
That's right.
Because no matter where you're from, you're not from there.
That's right.
Period. So we ended up going to church, and I asked my buddy, I'm like, "Are these snake handlers?" He said, "I've heard rumor that they are, but I don't know." Well, I am severely scared of a snake.
As scared of a snake as you are a goose?
No, I don't like goose. They're Satan. They're Satan sperm.
Oh, okay.
That's what creates a goose. Is every time Satan jacks off, there's a goose born.
Okay.
Forget
all
the
right.
eggs. Eggs have nothing to do with the goose.
No. Not
It
at all.
is Satan sperm.
Of course it is.
But no, I am deathly scared of a snake.
Okay.
I mean, and it's not even funny. I mean, I will throw you at a snake. In fact, I was dating a girl. I was engaged to a girl. Beautiful evening one night. We're walking down a little path. Beautifully. And she knew I was scared of snakes. And I mean, I loved her. And she said, "Now, honey, right in front of us is a snake." And I'm like, "Well, thank you." And I grabbed her and threw her toward the snake. And then I ran with my arms up in the air because anytime I'm around a snake, my arms have to go straight up because I think that's how they're going to take me down.
Of course.
Is by grabbing my hands.
Of course they are.
I went in the house, I locked the doors, and got the sawed-off shotgun. She came down the path, madder than a wet hen.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
And she's knocking on her own damn door. She goes, "Let me in." I'm like, "Where's the snake?" And
Like she picked it up and carried it to the
so
house.
that's how scared I am of the snake. Like it was a blue racer following her down the hill.
Right.
So we're sitting there, and we would normally sit in the back part of the church so we could watch not only the sermon, the ceremony, but the people.
Oh, this is fun.
So we're watching, and we come out, and the preacher comes out, and we can see he's really charismatic.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
And we know when you're in the mountains, charismatic folk, they like to handle them some snakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at my buddy's name was Doug, not any Doug that we have referenced on this show, but is a different buddy. And he was from the area. And I said, "Buddy, if I see some boxes coming out, my ass is out." I ain't lying, man. About 3-4 seconds later, that guy's jumping all up and down up there, and all of a sudden they started bringing out them little rectangular boxes.
Uh-huh.
I did not see them handle snakes because as soon as I saw them boxes, James's ass was on the way back to Frankfurt.
headed toward 25, trying to find a wilderness road back to Sid.
I'm not even talking about the theology behind doing that.
No.
I'm just talking about there's fucking snakes.
Yep.
Period.
He's out.
Anything that happens, if there are snakes involved, I'm done. Even when I was in church, God cursed the snake.
That's the story.
That's it.
Yep.
If God don't like him, I ain't got to.
I believe, though, the snake handlers take their guidance from a scripture in Matthew.
They take their guidance from Satan incarnate. They're Satan worshipers, is what I'm saying.
Is that what it is?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what it is. Yeah.
But
Leslie, load up the bus.
oh, Bath County.
County's coming to visit.
Hey, I just got shit on by a vulture. Let's go handle a snake. Hashtag Leslie from Bath County.
God, it's going to be a rough week.
Right? I don't have to work with her no more. You do. But I understand the lore behind that. And do you recall the TV show that was about the snake handlers, the reality show?
What?
Well, I was fascinated by this. It was on TLC or something like that.
Don't do that.
IMD, ESPN, I don't know, one of those acronyms. You know, I don't like acronyms anyway.
ESPN. Yeah, that's what it was. It was the NBA.
MSN, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it actually was really interesting that they followed a snake handling preacher family from Eastern Kentucky. And they talked about how they got their snakes, how they took care of their snakes, and all that sort of stuff in the theology behind it. And I found it fascinating. And then the show got canceled because everybody fucking died.
Shocking.
Every one of those guys got bit and died because they refused medical attention.
Right.
And
I don't get it. I do not get it.
it reminds me like the Aborigines. I mean, it's a different part of society that just lives by a different code or law or whatever that makes only sense to them.
I suppose it does. You know, I'm part of that faith, although I don't lift up those snakes. I've always read and believed that you do not tempt the Lord thy God. And when you put yourself in those situations, that's about as close to temptation as you can get. So, and a snake's going to do what a snake's going to do. You know, the
Snakes are really good at being snakes.
they really, especially rattlesnakes.
And if you fuck with them,
they're going to fuck you
now
back.
I'm a fisherman, unlike Root. I'm a fisherman, and if I go out fishing, and I don't hunt, but I am very comfortable in the woods and stuff like that. I don't hunt, but I understand if I go out to fish, or if I go out to camp, or if I love, I haven't done it in years, but I'd love to go pitch a tent and next to some sort of a creek bed or a lakeside or something, then fish and stuff all night. I understand when I do that I am in their house.
Right.
And if I see a snake in that environment, I just move along. I avoid it because that's their house. I understand the value of a snake. I understand their purpose, right? And we're a lot better off because there's snakes around.
Right.
But if I see one in my backyard in the subdivision,
It's a dead snake.
I am taking a cinder block or whatever the biggest thing I can get a hold of, and I'm throwing it at it.
The dog.
I'm not getting close. I'm not getting close to it.
Whatever's close, James is picking it up and getting thrown at the snake.
So when I was a younger man, I lived in Anderson County, and I went over to see a friend of my mom's just to give her something. It was like a pie or something like that I was dropping off. And I walk up to the trailer that she lived in, and I almost stepped on what looked to be, in my mind, a pit viper.
Of course it was.
Because every snake in the world, be it garter snake or anything else, is a
rat
pit viper.
snake, of
It's a
course.
pit viper.
Yeah.
It's an anaconda.
Yeah.
That's poisonous.
And
Which-
clearly has it out for you.
Which I'm certain there is one of those, and they're always around me.
Of course.
So I went to step down, and just so happens I looked down, and the snake was just underneath my foot, which wigged me the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I probably walked on air at that point because I don't remember actually stepping on the ground. And I went up to my mom's friend's house, and I'm like, here's your pie. There's a big-ass snake in your yard. She goes, well, here's a gun, shoot it. She gave me a 45.
Okay.
Now, at this time in my life, I had never shot a pistol. I've always been good with a 30-30 or a shotgun or something like that. I like something I can get two good hands on.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never shot a pistol, and I was scared shitless. So I went to shoot this snake, and I think I dropped maybe 6 rounds or 6 bullets. I'll be honest with you. I never hit the fucking snake. The snake ended up meandering off because he's like, that son of a bitch going to get lucky sooner or later.
Right.
I mean, I just don't. And if I see a snake when I'm wading, I love to wade fish. I love to go underneath the dam, get in the backwater and wade. I love to have that water up around me. And I'll see a snake in the water. And I have no problem with that until I don't see the snake no more.
Right, because then he's coming straight for your dick.
What I know is this. That snake was here, and now it's not. So James needs to go home. And guess what I have to do? Walk past the fucking geese.
Of course.
That's where they are. They're in conjunction.
They're in cahoots, I think was the word you're looking for.
Well, or, I don't know, cojones, I don't know. So, what do you think about this?
I don't even remember the story.
All right, it's been illegal in the state of Kentucky to handle poisonous snakes in a religious service since 1940. However, a serious attempt to enforce the law ended decades ago because the reluctance by authorities to prosecute people over their religious beliefs. I think this is a bigger topic than what we're talking about.
It is because you have this deathly fear of snakes.
I don't like them.
You know, no, apparently he does not. The libertarian in me says this is fucking awesome. The legislature dictates one thing, the locals do something entirely different.
Well, I think the locals have to answer to their constituents.
Their community.
Right. They have to because
yeah.
that's the people that vote them in.
Okay.
If they want to have a job, they don't piss off the snake handling church.
Or maybe they're thinking that the church handling the
church handling church.
The
I want to
church
tell you
handling
what.
snake.
If I could find me a fucking church handling church, I would go.
Amen.
Yeah, right.
Amen.
Amen and amen.
Yeah, but a lot of those sheriffs, like I said at the outset of this thing, a lot of those sheriffs either were members of that church, had family going to that church, they saw nothing wrong with that church, and they just raised up the big finger to Frankfurt and said, fuck off, boys. You want to send your state police down here? You just bring them right on down.
All right, let me ask you this, and this is going to be a big stretch. All right, this is not an issue. Nobody gives a rat's ass about whether a bunch of rednecks in a holler somewhere kill themselves with a rattlesnake. Nobody cares about that, or cottonmouth, or whatever.
It's Darwinism.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yep.
Push them out the end of the herd, let some bitches kill them. But by your perspective, your libertarian perspective is that the state legislated this.
Right.
And the local government says, fuck you, this is not what we want to do. We're going to live our life because we have a different code or
exactly
than you all do.
Right.
Be it Frankfurt, Lexington, Louisville,
right.
all the larger cities.
We're not hurting anybody but ourselves.
Right. So I when you said that, and I agree with that, and I think it's really cool. But when the whole stuff happened with Kim Davis and her not granting marriage licenses to same-sex couples, is that not the same thing? It's exactly the same thing.
She was raising her big fat finger to Frankfurt. That's a fact. That's a fact.
How'd that work out for her?
It worked out exactly as it should. She was voted out.
Yeah.
Because
and she was nationally ridiculed.
Well,
not just state ridiculed,
right,
but nationally.
Right. But
and sadly for her, she's a dumbass. Had she been articulate...
That's not sadly. That's accurate.
No, but it is. But had she been articulate and actually had some valid concerns, at least somebody could go, well, you know what, I don't agree with her.
There is not a single valid concern that she could bring to the table. What business is it of the county clerk,
or the sheriff,
or the local state representative, or the governor? What business is it of theirs who we live with? None. Zero. None.
Oh, I agree. And please don't think I would ever defend Kim Davis. I mean, I would
love to put you in that spot.
No. I love to debate.
Right.
And when I learned to debate in college, you were putting issues in a hat, and you drew out positive or pro or con. Right. So you had to know the other side as much as you did your side. So you just couldn't debate your passion.
Right.
You had to debate your counter passion.
Right.
I could not do it in this circumstance. She's an absolute idiot. She has made the state look horrible, not just to our own people, but worldwide.
I think even as a even as a hardcore Christian type,
Libertarian, too. You wear a lot of hats.
I am.
Yeah.
But I can see the separation there, right? Libertarians have no basis in faith whatsoever. Not even a little bit.
They have no basis in belief in anyone other than themselves
No.
and their community. Fair?
We have an absolute faith in individual liberty. The right for me, you, anybody else, even the people that we disagree with, to live their life as they see fit without government intervention. Thomas Jefferson said...
No. Just because you wore a damn T-shirt tonight that said something about, give me liberty so I can sort out the rest.
That's exactly what I wore.
You know, the fact that... I mean, your browser history is something that I want to know about, but I don't.
No, you don't.
I don't.
No, you don't.
Because you're anywhere from Thomas Jefferson T-shirts to whatever the other stuff you do.
Jefferson said, if it doesn't pick my pocket or break my legs, it's no business of mine. That's how we should all live, right? Whatever I'm doing, if James doesn't like it, hey, if my behavior is not impacting him or his property, what business is it of his? And that is where Kim Davis fell down.
No, Kim Davis fell down from the concept.
Wait,
she thought she was going to carry the mantle for a movement, and that movement left her the fuck alone.
Because she did not ground her belief, her Christian belief, in biblical principles. This is just me thinking. And I'm not up for any theological debate here.
Oh, aren't you?
No, okay. We can go there if we want to.
Because I am getting me some more ice. This is fixing to get righteous.
She took biblical faith.
As opposed to other faith.
Well, because she was an avowed Christian, is an avowed Christian.
Oh, that gives Christians a bad name. She gives Christians a bad name.
She avowed the faith, though.
Yeah.
So
she evoked the faith, yeah.
Okay, valid point. And then she had tried to apply that faith to people who she had no idea if they believed her faith or not.
Well, no, they didn't.
Well, I don't know. They could be two fine Christian gentlemen that just wanted to get married.
Well, yeah, we can't speak to their...
Right, I don't know that.
But what we can speak to is, regardless of their faith or their background, they were not given the opportunity.
Exactly.
That the state and the nation had awarded them the opportunity
not
to do.
Kentucky.
Well,
not Kentucky.
So that's one of the reasons I'm really embarrassed.
And that gets back to my point. The Frankfurt, D.C., Knoxville, Nashville, wherever the fucking capital
Manhattan,
is in Tennessee,
where Root was
anymore.
naked, evidently.
Albany, New York. No state government or federal government should be able to tell us who we can live with. I don't care who you're fucking, but it shouldn't matter. If marriage is in the tax law, then fine. Then James and I could get married and never see each other's uglies.
I will never say yes to you. You keep asking. I will simply not say yes to you.
But if it came down to it,
I would not say yes to you.
If it came down to it,
keep asking. I won't say yes. Same question, same answer.
With the tax benefits of marriage, I know for a fact that there are women living together right now, men living together right now, who have no sexual interest in each other whatsoever, both straight as arrows, all four straight as arrows.
And also, there's a lot of male-female couples that have no sexual interest in one another.
Right.
Living together because it works.
Because it works.
They're roommates.
Why can't they have the same benefits of marriage as the rest of us?
I'm going to echo everything you've said. They should.
And if government can dictate that only males and females can get married, then they can also dictate that only blue eyes and brown eyes can marry. And that is... Isn't it extreme? Is it really? Because we're already at the biological level. What's next?
I'm going to make this really clear from my perspective. And I know sometimes people listen to this podcast and they kind of hit and miss it.
Both of them?
They don't, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't listen to it from beginning to end. They don't really see where we are overall. I'm going to be really honest. Gay marriage, to me, does nothing to hurt the sanctity of marriage. If it does anything, it cleans the fuck up the sanctity of marriage because they are better at it than we are.
You just probably peaked us.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll peek.
If I belong to a church and that particular church decided to have a homosexual marriage, male, female, whatever, I would not attend that ceremony because it is anathema to Christian faith.
What's anathema?
Anathema. It's
what
opposite.
Well, why don't you use that word?
Because it
No.
doesn't
Again,
carry.
this
carries
goes
a different
back to what I've
meaning.
said since we've done the podcast.
I'm on this side of the table.
That son of
I
a
get
mother.
to use big words.
That son of a mother uses a 5-letter word instead of the 4-letter word that would work, that everyone would know. You speak above the crowd because you want to feel like you're elite.
Opposite has more letters than anathema.
Does it?
It does. I just did the math. I just counted it.
Math. I like that you said that math is counting.
Well, it is. It is.
Counting
It is.
is not really math.
It's numbers. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1.
I counted all of them.
I did.
That's just like geometry.
Now some fucker in the comments is going to come up and say, "Oh, you son of a bitch," and off we go. But yeah, if my faith tells me that homosexual relations like that is sinful and wrong and all that stuff, that's a faith thing. But
Man, we need to have a podcast.
But
about
faith and legislation should never intertwine because as soon as they do, then the Taliban can come over here, get voted into power, and God knows we ain't far from it right now. And then what? Then we have beheadings in Madison Square Garden.
While Root is standing there naked.
No, I would be dead by that point.
With a ham sandwich. You would be naked with a ham sandwich from
Cussing
the
out
5
some
star.
dude in a UK shirt.
So, all right. So let's go back to this.
Man, that got deep in a hurry, didn't it?
You know, that's what we did.
It is what we do. It is what we do.
That's why the 2 people. I'm sorry. What? 1. Okay. 1 person listens to us.
Yeah, I think we lost one of them.
All right. So before we fucked up or cool.
You're going to have to read the post again because we went down so many damn rabbit trails.
It's about the damn snake handlers. I mean, I've read it 3 times. It has been illegal in Kentucky to handle poisonous snakes in religious services since 1940.
Okay.
However, serious attempts to enforce that law
Have been shot down by local authority.
Right.
Yeah. That is cool. That is cool because the local community stood up. What they're doing is only hurting themselves as individuals, not as communities. Now, a word could be said about the pressure of preachers and all that within a given church. For folks reluctant to handle snakes, that is
I think this is a big topic.
It
that
is.
we can visit.
There is a whole lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
But
I think it's a big topic.
I think the post itself, I think that's cool that local authorities tell the state government to fuck off.
As opposed to the previous today I learned that we illuminated it was just poppycock.
Right.
This really has a lot of depth. Because it speaks to state versus local. Mm-hmm. It speaks to religious practices. Mm-hmm. It speaks to stereotypes. It speaks to all sorts of different things.
It does.
In my point in this is I think it's cool. I think if local authorities continue to do these things, though, it gets really, really scary.
Does it?
I think it does. I mean, I know your libertarian part says that people should police themselves, and it takes a village and all that sort of shit.
A very small village. Yeah.
Well,
I don't think James gets this whole libertarian thing yet.
Evidently, size matters to him. But I think
you got the size, it matters.
I think the post is cool because I think it provides fodder for further conversations. And if I'm going to talk about today, I learned that you're trying to invoke.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Right.
I'll give you that.
So I think it's really cool. And I think, honestly, this may be something we revisit
I think so.
On a full
I
show.
think so. We get all 4 chairs in here.
Yeah.
And that could be a meaty conversation.
So we have one last one.
Here we go.
But before we do the last one,
We need to talk about somebody.
we do. Because Root has not been there in a while.
I have not.
I can tell right now.
I'm meant to go this past weekend. Got busy, and next thing I know, it is 11:48. There is no way. I don't care, folks. I'm telling you, you show up at this place at 11:59. If you park your car at 11:59 and you sprint to the door, it is vacant. Lights turned off. Looks like nobody's been in there in months.
Let me tell you something about Root. That some bitch has not sprinted in 16 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. That man does not sprint.
No.
He is much like me, and that's one of the reasons that when I met Root, I think we looked at each other and goes, "There's a kinship there."
Oh yeah.
Because we both know our asses ain't running for nothing.
These colors don't fucking run.
Because either if something goes down, we are either getting our ass whooped or we are whooping some ass.
That's
because
right.
if we try to run from somebody, they're going to get us anyway.
Yep.
Because we cannot outrun anyone.
That's right. That's
So,
right. Shit's going to get real in a hurry.
But we want to talk about right now, as I get a bourbon, Mike at the Plaza Barbershop. Now, let me tell you something what Mike's doing.
What's he doing?
You don't know this because you've not been there long enough.
I have not.
Now, I want to tell you what, since Mike and Root have met each other, Root's got a better look. He does.
I am a handsome son of a bitch.
No, he's not.
No,
but, I mean, he's much more so than
Thanks
he was
to Mike.
before.
Thanks to Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny to listen to Mike talk about Root.
God. Here we go.
But anyway, we'll go into that. But Mike is talking about branching out.
Oh, okay.
Mike is talking about, and I don't think I am betraying his trust. He's talking about getting his own storefront, almost doing like a speakeasy.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, he has a really good business mind, and I hope he does it. Because if you go to the Plaza Barbershop here in Frankfort, Kentucky, right there at the Save-A-Lot parking lot,
Oh, okay.
and you walk in and you sit down, you will see, if you see 6 people in there, you will see 5 of those people waiting for Mike.
That's right.
And 1 waiting for the next available chair. Those people are idiots.
They don't understand.
Because they don't know the haircut they're getting ready to get.
That's right.
I mean, if you want to put a bowl on somebody's head and trim it around there, fuck, I can do that.
Not well, but you could try.
But I don't want to touch their hair because they're idiots.
That's true.
They don't know how to wash things. They don't know. I mean, they may not even know how to get in the door. You may have to help them. But Mike, it's really odd because he can get me in and out of the chair probably in 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. I've got a haircut. I got a beard trim. Now, the last time I went in, I said, man, I got to trim this beard down. It's hot. Fuck. It's been the hottest last month that we have seen in a long time.
Record temperatures for
And
this time of
beards
year.
have a
It's
tendency
amazing.
to make you hot. I
Yep.
mean, not just in looks. You're welcome, ladies. Also in temperature. And I told him, like, dude, man, this is really full and stuff. He probably spent 5 minutes on my hair because he's used to my hair. And probably 25 minutes on my beard. And I was like, that's good. He goes, no.
I ain't done.
I need to get this over here because this. And he looked at me, and I'm not going to lie. This is not a fabrication. This is nothing. He goes, I'm so sorry I'll let you get your beard get to this point. Because now my beard is his beard.
He owns you. He owns your face, James.
My God. I mean,
I guess he's
TM.
going to own mine. Now, he's going to feel like shit when he sees this.
Because I'm going to tell you what.
I'm a goat right now.
No, Root has a fantastic beard. I have a really good beard, too.
Yep.
We have different beards.
Yes.
But my goodness, ever since we met Mike, now we have substance and structure and all that.
Yes. Yes.
And what we're trying to tell you is, go.
Absolutely.
If you're a man with hair, go.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a beard.
Nope.
Although, if you're a really man, you will have a beard.
You obviously already have one.
Because we're getting ready to do a podcast on beards.
That's right.
And if you don't have a beard, you can't be on the show. Murphy. But if you tell him that you listen to the Slightly Uncomfortable podcast
Special deal.
He will give you a $12 haircut.
And where can you find that?
Here's the thing.
There's something else.
It's not just a $12 haircut.
No.
He will give you a $3 beard trim. You can go in and get your hair cut, your beard trim for $15 if you mention the show.
And where can you find it? Where can you get your hair? Just this shit on top of your head.
Don't do that to your hair.
Cut for
Don't. Oh God,
he does this all the time.
He kept his hands off his hair, and then now it's just jiffy hair.
Biting my time.
His bangs are
I was
concerning.
waiting. See,
your bangs are concerning.
Hey, it's not down to my nose yet.
The fact that you are a man and you have bangs.
Well, if I don't, I've got an 8 head.
You're right. You ain't wrong about that. But if you go to the Plaza Barbershop in Frankfort, Kentucky, in Save-A-Lot parking lot, Mike will absolutely take care of you.
Absolutely. Love the man.
Wednesday through Saturday.
He doesn't wear a scarf, though. We need to talk to him about
that. No.
We need to talk to I think I'm going to bring him one.
All right, the fact that you need him to wear a scarf, maybe you need to go see Kim Davis in Moorhead, Kentucky.
She's not in office anymore.
No, she's not, but
no.
she would not like you, nor am I comfortable with what you're saying. Go see Mike. I mean,
Mike's awesome.
Honestly, if Alex and Caleb, Murphy and Lloyd.
I thought you were going to say Janet.
No, well, he won't do women.
That's true.
Because you know why?
He's a
smart.
family man.
No, he's smart.
Oh, well, that's
women
true.
are messed up about their hair.
Oh, God.
Guys will put a hat on.
That's true.
All right, Mike had a bad day. I need a hat. But go see Mike.
Mike never really has a bad day.
He doesn't.
We put on hats because we woke up too late.
Please don't put your hands in your hair.
See,
just stop.
I think he's got a thing.
No, I don't.
Really do.
No, I have a thing against bad things.
See, look at this.
I know.
It's awesome. It's sexy.
All right, anyway.
Cough one time for me.
Anyway.
We got one more.
One more. We're done. Today I learned, according to analysis.
This is about Kentucky too?
I'm going to go ahead and ask you to not be quiet.
I'm just asking. I'm not being quiet.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to go ahead and ask you to not do being quiet. I don't know what I'm saying. Today I learned, according to analysis of 4 million phone calls.
Oh, God.
The fastest American talkers are in Oregon. The most verbose are in New York. And the most impatient are in Kentucky.
No fucking shit.
Conversely, the slowest talkers are in Mississippi. The least verbose are in Oklahoma. And the most patient are in Louisiana.
Okay. So which one of these are we going to cut down first?
No, this is fascinating.
It's
fascinating.
The only one
4 million.
The only one that I've got an issue with is Oregon. The fastest in Oregon?
Well,
I was thinking Massachusetts, somewhere up in the northeast.
New Jersey?
I was thinking even further north.
Vermont,
New Hampshire, Maine.
Northeast. Northeast.
I'm thinking further north, though, than New York, New Jersey, Connecticut.
Still northeast.
Delaware.
Still northeast.
I'm thinking further north than that, though.
All right, north is Montana, fucker. I'm talking about northeast.
How many times I got to say it? North.
I'm sorry to put you out.
North of New York, right?
No, I think Jersey talks really fast.
They do, but they ain't got nothing on Massachusetts. Those fuckers in Boston can say more words in 2 seconds than anybody else in the country.
I'll be honest.
Apparently, I'm wrong because Oregon has the speed talkers.
I cannot pronounce that state.
Massachusetts.
I can't.
Well, because you shouldn't read it, you just say it.
I can't. I have never once pronounced that state right.
Massachusetts. And put an A in the middle. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. I can't say it right. I can't say it right. So I don't like him.
Oh, okay.
Bernie Sanders can suck my dick. I don't care. And
he's from
there?
Vermont.
Well, still. It's one of those.
I don't want him anywhere near my dick because I'm afraid he's going to take it and give it to somebody else.
Well, he has a worse hairline than you, so I agree.
God,
so anyway, what you thought?
I'm sure he's a sweet, wonderful man. I just got no use for him.
Let me just revisit this.
Yes, please.
Oregon
is the fastest
talkers. The most verbose, New York. That's not so.
That's a granted.
And the most impatient is Kentucky.
Oh yeah. You know why? Because we don't take any shit. If you call me God knows I likely won't even answer the damn phone, right, James?
God, I've texted him. I have Facebooked him. I have Skyped him.
See?
I sent him a letter. There was an overhead plane trying to write something in the sky. That some bitch will not return anything.
I will tell you though, your carrier pigeon was mighty tasty.
Well, because it fell out of the sky,
and I shot it,
and you were in Bath County.
So I just had to eat it.
So how about we just try this? The meat sky stuff.
This happens to everybody, at least I think so. Everybody around the world, or
what are we talking about?
The United States, so it may as well be the world. Everybody's getting these shit phone calls about your student loans or your
robocalls.
Yeah, all the robocalls. Why do they even try this shit in Kentucky? Nobody answers their damn phone unless it's somebody you know. And even then, you call me with some bullshit about something stupid I'm not even involved in? Click. Fuck that.
I think it's fair.
We don't do that.
I think it's fair. My dad is sharp in 93.
Yep.
And he will, if there's a phone call that needs to be made, let me give you an example. Is he bought some Ritz crackers.
Ritz crackers. Oh, this is going to be a good one.
He likes him some Ritz.
I like me some Ritz crackers.
I do too. A buttery goodness of Ritz crackers. So he got a pack of Ritz crackers.
My dog's going to fight you for them.
That will, I don't know what I was saying.
If she had teeth.
The dog is just.
She's 18.
All right, so please don't, please don't travel again. Because I'm certain if you do, the dog will die on my watch.
He thought she died on the first watch.
Well, I'm saying I am 1 for 1. If I go for 2, I'm losing. Because that dog every day is his last day until it doesn't make his
her
or whatever. I didn't look for the wiener. I didn't. I did not check out the dog other than breathing. That's all I did. But so Dad gets his box of Ritz crackers that he paid $3 for.
Whatever.
And they're burnt.
Uh-oh.
So he looks on the back of the box of Ritz crackers of the customer service line. You know what? Dad has all the time in the world. Great. So he's like, these damn Ritz crackers are burnt. They said, if you have any comments or questions, you call this 1-800 number.
Yeah.
So my dad calls. And all of a sudden, Bob.
Was it Bob from Pakistan?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
Bob at.
Hello,
and Dad goes, He said, if you see 502 on your caller ID, don't you fucking answer the phone. You put me through to somebody that sounds like me. He went through 3 operators because Bob or Mary or anybody from Pakistan. And finally they got a supervisor went, hello, sir. How are you? He goes, these damn Ritz crackers are burnt. You need to send me some new ones. They sent him 2 more boxes of Ritz crackers for free.
You know what we should do? That should be a show.
Daddy calling a 1-800 number.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that would be awesome.
Would be so
we just pick random 800 numbers. Do a little research, find out what the product failure is.
Dad calling AT&T.
That would be
awesome.
That would be awesome. Y'all think it'd be awesome? Let us know.
But I think that's accurate. But I find it odd, out of 50 states, that we are the most impatient.
You know, I just don't find that odd at all. I don't. I mean, I know how my dad is on the phone. I know how my mom is.
Is it because we're older?
No.
Because no. You have referenced your mom and dad, and I referenced my dad. Is it because we're older? Because we have more older folk at home answering phone calls.
I don't know what that.
Because you don't answer an unknown number on your phone.
I don't.
You don't answer my number on your phone.
Well,
no, you don't.
For reasons obvious.
Well, I know.
I never know. You know?
I drunk that a whole lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I never know I'm going to pick it up.
And I had one girl on my cell phone named Wanda, and you're right after it. So
I just never know. I just never know. But I don't know what the age analysis is there. That'd be pretty easy to find out, I guess. And I don't know what this younger class is like. So it could be an age issue. That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting point. That's worthy of some more research, if you will. We'll get the Slightly Uncomfortable research crew involved in this.
That's named James.
Yeah, it is.
Because Alex ain't going to do that.
No.
We can't get him to show up, period.
He did show up for the last show.
No, the great thing of it is we can bitch out Alex.
The fuck is going on in your house?
Sometimes it gets hungry and
okay.
it needs to eat. But we can bitch out Alex any way we want to. Because that son of a bitch don't listen to the show.
That's true.
He doesn't listen. Unless he's on it. He's never even heard a show he has been on. Honestly, if you have listened to our show one time, that's one time more than Alex.
That might be a little brutal because he did reference the fact that he didn't understand why we put the crickets in.
No, I told his girlfriend about the crickets.
Oh, that's how he learned.
His girlfriend listens.
Okay.
Not to all of them.
Right.
She only listens to the ones he's on.
Well, maybe we should call her out more and then get him involved.
Hey, Allie, how about you listen to fucking shows every once in a while? So far we have Leslie and Allie.
Yep, we called them both out. And we kind of called out Lloyd, too, but that's another matter.
Lloyd is a good guy.
He is.
He brings paper.
Yeah, and makes a fuck ton of noise with it.
Not environmentally friendly at all.
No,
not at all.
No.
So do we think that all right, so oh God, Lord Jesus, I'm percolating. It didn't hurt though. That's the first burp I've had in a week that has not hurt.
And you're healing. So everybody give James a round of applause.
So, all right, Oklahoma. Least verbose.
I can see that. Now, what was Texas?
Wasn't in here.
It sure was.
No.
No? Well, Texas is probably going to be right there with them.
The fact you added it to it. No, it's not.
Well, because...
We have Oregon.
Yep.
We have New York, the most verbose, right? We have Kentucky, most impatient. And then conversely, we have slowest talkers are Mississippi. I will tell you what. I have engaged quite a bit of my life with folks from Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi. When they talk, it is absolutely poetry.
Yeah.
Because they will spin a yarn that is absolutely captivating. By the time you get done with that story, you have no idea what it was about.
That's right, because you're caught up in the language.
Because there's going to be a little bit of,
Uh-huh.
They're it's beautiful.
It is.
If you wonder what Mississippi language is like, watch Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Amen.
And I know Kevin Spacey is fucked up. I get it. But my God, he nails that. And then we have least verbose, Oklahoma, and most patient, Louisiana.
I'm not sure I understand the Louisiana thing, but absolutely the most patient. But and why would
most
it be?
patient, Louisiana.
Well, okay.
Least verbose is Oklahoma. Because you know why they live in fucking Oklahoma. If you have driven through Oklahoma, you know why they just don't give a shit.
Right.
Because if you look around, you're like, oh, well, this is something that we don't ever need to know anything about. I mean, it's just like,
that's also, and I'm going to piss off anybody listening to us from Oklahoma or Texas.
We don't have anything.
Well, we might.
Texas, maybe. Don't piss those fuckers off. Because they have guns, they have big hats, big belt buckles, and they will travel. They will travel.
Who settled Texas? Kentuckians and Tennesseans settled Texas.
Oh Lord, here we go.
That's just the fact of it. So Texas, you're welcome. And
that is Root on
Root at SlightlyUncomfortable.com. Send it.
God, he is a bearded bitch.
Hey man, I'm just preaching truth over here. I referenced Texas when you said Oklahoma was the least verbose because neither one of them have anything to say. They can't say anything. What they say, though, is pretty damn important. You best listen to it. If you don't listen to it, you're going to get your ass whipped. That's just how they are. And why is that? Well, because they're made up of Kentuckians and Tennesseans.
So I have had a part-time job where I dealt with Texans.
Does this deal with the assless chaps?
You don't
Because
need to,
you referenced that earlier.
what
and I'm
you,
just
no, I
saying-
did not.
Well, it was off air, but
I need you to keep me out of your 6 sexual fantasies. Is what I need. I don't need you to think about me in those times.
I'm just. Oh, so those times existed. So
No,
okay,
I'm saying,
so we've already
I
cleared
don't
that
need
up.
you
So go
to
ahead.
think about me in
No,
your
no, no.
sick sexual fantasies.
Please go ahead.
You can think about Lloyd.
We've already
Wait a minute.
established that it already happened.
You can think about Rude.
I am rude, but now I'll happily think about Alex and his sexy scarf.
Oh,
He had some fine socks on
I
the other
have
night.
no
too.
idea where I was going with this.
I bet you don't, because I've already done derailed you.
You just made me just
See,
clinch.
Just be,
There was clinching.
just be thankful you didn't sneeze, pussy.
Right?
Come on.
I ain't gonna lie to you. A good sneeze and a fart, it may be my demise.
Because he's got a bruised rib.
No,
Like
no,
he's
no.
never been in a fight in his life.
Torn cartilage.
That's right.
Fucker,
That's
I've been in a fight. That's why we connect.
That's why I said it.
Lord Jesus. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
I don't know. It's hard for me to judge this because the whole post is all over the board.
I think it's cool because I don't know how they quantify this.
Right. It's cool from a statistical analysis point of view. I would be interested to see the raw data.
I think it's really cool for a shock factor.
Yeah.
This is what we found, and we called 3 people on a Tuesday.
Right.
So we don't know what the focus group was, right?
Right.
This is
Well, didn't they say like 4 million or some obscene number like that? That's a fuck ton of money.
I don't like to
spend
read
on.
things.
Well, that's true. He makes this shit up off
But
his shoulders. So.
this leads me into this, is that on my Facebook memories, I think you probably saw this.
Mm-hmm.
A year ago today,
Yeah.
we started a focus group for this podcast. We started a focus group to see if this had legs.
Right.
If there was any interest, if there was a good idea for us to do this. And now we're a year ago, we
Year
were
later.
thinking about talking about.
Right.
And now we are 30 episodes in.
30 episodes in, having a ball with it. We've increased this thing. It started out with 3 of us, well, 2.5 if you count the on and off appearances of Alex in the mix.
But sometimes he leaves his scarf.
He does, and it feels like he's at home. I sometimes cuddle with it when I'm over here. It makes him makes James uncomfortable.
I need you to go in and stop that. not doing it, just talking about it.
Oh, okay.
That's not a shareable moment.
So I guess that means he likes watching, but not really talking about it. But anyway,
No.
we've added 4, 5 souls
Yeah,
to the show.
and because they were fans,
Right.
and we brought them in the fold,
Mm-hmm.
and we also have had downloads from all over the world.
All over the world.
Oh, my
That
God.
is shocking.
Oh my God! I met some people from California, and they said, "What's your podcast?" And now they're listening.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you all so much for
from across the pond.
Yes.
too.
Scotland.
Scotland, right?
We have no idea how somebody from Scotland.
Denmark. I think you had said somewhere in the Czech Republic was, I can't remember.
I didn't say that.
Bosnia, something like that.
Yeah.
But just looking at the stats, we are world fucking wide, brother.
Wow. There are 2 rednecks.
Right.
Sitting in the basement,
Drinking juice.
drinking Kentucky bourbon,
Yep.
and talking about shit. Thank you all so much for listening
Amen.
to us.
Amen.
And if you have a chance to come to Kentucky and go to the Plaza Barbershop here in Frankfort, Kentucky, and
Go
get
talk
your
to
hair
Mike.
cut.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's a win-win.
It's an immersion experience.
Yeah.
You come to Kentucky, you can drink some bourbon,
Yeah.
talk to Mike, get your hair cut, get your beard trimmed, ladies, or not.
There is this thing here in Kentucky that we market the fuck out of called the Bourbon Trail. There's all kinds of distilleries around, gives you tours, let you have a sip on occasion. Come on down, check us out.
Yeah, I mean, we're really proud of a lot of stuff that we have here.
Amen.
But bourbon, horses,
Yep.
and beautiful women.
Full of.
Oh.
Full of.
if any of the beautiful women want to message me at James at Facebook.com.
You can find him on Grindr too.
No. That's your profile. Keep looking. You keep looking.